Here's our open vented crawl space. I took down some insulation and you can see how they just stuffed fiberglass in to plug the hole. The discoloration of the fiberglass is because air is moving through. There's even a little mold up on the surface. Ideally these holes are sealed. Here's where we have leaves that are blowing in on the foundation vents, and this just is an excellent food source for insects, bacteria, and mold. This pollen dust that's on the ductwork will also be mixed with mold, and the spotting on the bottom is because of mold growth occurring, because seasonally these ducts condensate. Here as I pull back the moisture barrier, which has mold growth on it due to condensation on the top, also has condensation forming underneath. This is because it's not an insulation material, and then there's organic material in the soil, and then on the side where the barrier doesn't reach, we're able to create a field for bacteria to grow. Here is mold growth that's colonized on the wood. Looks like the wood has been cleaned. However, the mold has come back because the humidity hasn't been taken care of. Here is our return duct. The joints are not sealed, so we're aggressively pulling in air from the crawl space, and right here we've got mold that's growing on the ducts. In addition, you can see how this insulation goes from bright yellow to black. That's because, again, the return's not sealed and it's just pulling in the pollutants from the crawl space into the air system. This secondary crawl space acts as a humidifier. As condensation forms on the metal, it drips onto this plastic and it pools, creating a primordial mess. And then all of this moisture and pollutants are then able to come into the main crawl space and get sucked right into the house. And you can see here where there is much more mold growth on the wood in this immediate area. Again, in this area next to the secondary crawl space, we have extensive mold growth on the exterior of the ducts. Here we have clear puddles of water. This is because when the temperature is right, this whole HVAC distribution box is sweating. You can see the rust mark on it, and then the ensuing mold on the ductwork. So these puddles of water that form, they are just humidifiers that keep the crawl space moist. Wow, there's a lot back there, so that mold can grow up on the wood. Next to this distribution box, where we have a lot of pooling of water, we now start to see a second type of mold. This white mold is famous for wood rot. It is not rotting away at the wood. The wood all still has its structural integrity, but it just shows that this area stays wet enough to support that particular type of mold. Here's where we have leaves that are blowing in on the foundation vents, and this just is an excellent food source for insects, bacteria, and mold. This pollen dust that's on the ductwork will also be mixed with mold, and the spotting on the bottom is because of mold growth occurring, because seasonally these ducts condensate.
In North Carolina, there are two building codes for crawl spaces. Hopefully this video will help you decide which one is right for you. Typical open vented crawl spaces in North Carolina have moisture, mold, insect, and radon issues. This is a concern because in the summer and winter air rises. This draws damp, moldy, smelly air from your crawl space into the living areas. One solution to this is a closed crawl space, which uses 100% ground coverage, subfloor or wall insulation, a drying mechanism or exhaust fan. A problem with plastic liners are the off-gassing of chemicals, micro-punctures created during installation, and the offensive urine odor caused by bacteria living underneath the liner. So which do you prefer, musty odors or chemical odors? Here at Indoor Environmental Systems, we prefer to use a foil foam insulation liner which covers the ground and the walls. This is the best for indoor air quality and energy efficiency, since there are no chemical odors, moisture, mold, insects, or radon, and it significantly reduces energy loss into the ground. The typical crawlspace remediation consists of mold removal, installing an insulation liner on the ground and walls, using a drying method such as a crawlspace supply vent, dehumidifier, or foundation vent exhaust fan. Mold removal depends on the extent of the contamination. Therefore, insulation may or may not be removed. Colonized mold is removed in preparation for a mold treatment. CleanSeal is a non-toxic, low-odor, quick-drying coating which prevents mold growth. It comes with a manufacturer's lifetime warranty that states no toxic microorganisms shall penetrate the treated surfaces, nor shall any such microorganisms or toxic gases emerge from beneath a treated surface. Crawlspace drying mechanisms. They consist of three: the crawlspace supply vent, a dehumidifier, or an exhaust ventilation fan. Crawlspace supply vents are a low cost and no maintenance option. Crawlspace dehumidifiers provide dependable humidity control, yet require maintenance. The foundation vent exhaust fan is great because it stops this rising of pollutants from the crawlspace into the living area. The exhaust fans or fan are placed in foundation vents and come with automatic temperature and humidity controls. Other considerations may be a crawlspace drain or sump pump, diverting rainwater, as well as landscape modifications. A crawlspace drain will release rainwater from below the liner and drain away water from plumbing breaks. A sump pump may be needed if flooding or rising water is a concern. Capturing rainwater and diverting it away from the home is helpful. A simple, low-maintenance option is to divert rainwater and termites by installing a metal and stone landscape border. It's beneficial to discharge water far away from your home and use a lawnmower safe pop-up. Indoor Environmental Systems provides code-approved R13 foundation wall insulated closed crawl spaces. Our crawl spaces are energy efficient and guaranteed to not condensate or grow mold. We have the best system for indoor air quality because of no mold, radon, volatile organic compounds, or insects, and it meets the North Carolina Building Code. Indoor Environmental Systems provides indoor air quality since 1992. We are the oldest mold remediation company in Raleigh, Cary, Durham, Chapel Hill. We have best practices, lifetime warranties, and award-winning Angie's List customer service. Because of our experience, knowledge, and integrity, we can see the big picture and recommend what's best for you. Thank you from the crew at Indoor Environmental Systems.